Hi folks, today I'm going to be talking about this comet which has appeared on stereo head heliospheric imager number 2. It can be seen at the bottom of this image recorded on April 18th. It's quite large and bright, but the question is, what is it? To answer this question, it's best to look at where the comet is in relation to the stars. But as I've mentioned in previous videos, the processing that NASA does on these sorts of images tends to destroy your view of the stars because they're trying to visualize the tenuous heliosphere. They use images that were previously taken to calibrate the current image, and it tends to make the view quite messy as far as stars go. So in order to identify this comet, I've downloaded the raw data prior to any processing off their FTP. They offer those files as raw FITS files, and you can use a program like PixInsight to process the images, which is exactly what I've done, while preserving the view of the stars. I use dynamic background subtraction to get rid of some of the solar glare, while still preserving the stars so that you can see them quite clearly. You can even see the Milky Way down here at the bottom left corner of the image. And it also gives us greater detail on the nucleus of the comet itself. And if you look, you can see that the nucleus of the comet forms this line. Now this is the apparent nucleus, not the physical nucleus. But you can see that it forms this line in the image, and that's actually an indication that it's moving so fast relative to the observer that it streaks during the exposure. So in order to identify this comet, I also loaded up Celestia and put the camera at the position of stereo head and pointed it where HI2 is looking in space. And what you'll see is that this comet, which moves quite a bit between exposures, these exposures are separated by 2 hours of time, is C2012 F6. Now that's Comet Lemon. Now why is it so big and bright in the image? Well, that's because the distance from the comet from the perspective of stereo head is only about 0.21 astronomical units. It's currently about 1.6 astronomical units from Earth, and Earth is also visible in the image over here on the right. Now you'll notice it's not a perfect match, but that's because there's a lot of optical distortion within the HI2 images. These are very wide fields of view. We're talking about 70 degrees here for each of the HI2 imagers, and as a result there's a lot of optical distortion within the image, which is not recreated by Celestia. But you can see that the images are registered, aligned on the comet, and the stars immediately around the comet are a match with Celestia. So that tells us what the comet is. That is definitely C2012 F6 Lemon. So that's that. Hope you all have a nice day.